everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Monday, December the 9th, 2024. I wanted to do a follow-up video regarding the CEO of United Healthcare killing that happened last Wednesday in New York City. I think by now everybody knows that happened here. And just today, about maybe a few hours ago, they came on the air giving a breaking news updating, saying that the suspect of this shooting was caught eating at a McDonald's, and his name is Luigi Mangione. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name, but 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is the person of interest, and right now he was found actually in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. He's being charged with firearm possession, and most likely will be he will be sent to New York to be officially charged with the murder of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. So here's the thing, though. It's so crazy to me. This is just my opinion, but this man looks like a regular person, right? And it doesn't seem as though, even like from the photos, judging on the photos, right? The way he was like smiling and so open to be willing to be, like I told you in my previous episode, he didn't care that there were cameras out, right? It seems like a regular everyday guy, right? But let me read to you briefly what happened earlier today. It says here, Luigi Mangione has been arrested as the person of interest in the shooting of the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was shot on busy Midtown Manhattan sidewalk in broad daylight last week. The person of interest was picked up at a McDonald's location near Altoona, Pennsylvania, after an employee thought he looked suspicious and called the police. On him, the police found a gun similar to the one used on last week's shooting, and along with the silencer. He also had on his person a fake New Jersey ID, matching the one the shooter used last week to check into the Manhattan hotel. And New York Police Department said that the person of interest had a manifesto that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. Mangione had not been charged in relation to Thompson's death, was picked up on firearm charges. And quote unquote, they're saying at this time he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. It does seem that he has some ill will towards corporate America. As police continue their investigation into the shooting and what if any possible connection to Mangione may have been with the death of Thompson, here's everything they know. And this man, like I told you, he's 26-year-old. He grew up in Maryland, born and raised in Maryland, and then moved to Hawaii. The family moved to Hawaii and was the valedictorian of his high school class in 2016. Okay, and I already saw there's a video on Twitter or on the X app. There's a video on Twitter already of his high school graduation. It is so hard to believe that this young man, like, how do you go, like, he's 26 now, so he graduated when he was probably 18. What happened on that time frame from being valedictorian to giving such a great speech? What happened in all those years, right? For him to be led to do this, right? They're saying he has some ill will towards corporate America and all of that. Regardless, like, I know they're prepping this story, trying to piece all the pieces together. They can piece it up and match it up, and this is just my opinion, guys. They can piece it up, match it up so perfectly to kind of come up with a motive to understand why this young man decided to do something like this. At the end of the day, guys, how did this man knew that Brian Thompson was going to be there? right? Because it's not like it was a conference only for Brian Thompson. It wasn't Brian Thompson speaking to an audience. It was Brian Thompson meeting with investors, right? Picture like a room filled with businessmen, right? All wearing a suit. This man knew, okay, that Brian Thompson was not staying at the hotel where the conference was happening. Okay, for him to be waiting outside, Brian could have stayed at the same Hilton where the conference was going to happen and just come down the elevators to the conference room the day of on Wednesday. This man knew that he was not staying there. He could have called, yes, but they don't give information like that so easily, right? To check on a guest, especially high-profiling guests, right? How did he know that he was going to get there earlier? How did he know that he had no security? How did he know who he was immediately? Like I said, you could, there's a meeting happening with a lot of investors, a big health company. How do you know exactly who he is? This man knew he was gonna get there. Like this, if this is the guy who did it, he knew a lot more information, and this is definitely some type of setup. Somebody else is behind him directing this guy. He knew that this man was not staying in the same hotel. He knew that he was going to walk down earlier compared to everybody else. He knew at what time. He knew what suit he was wearing. This man didn't even yell out, "Hey, Brian!" He knew exactly who he was. It's like he was told he's coming out right now. He just left or something, and he's walking down. He's wearing a blue suit. Like, it could have been anybody. He knew exactly who he was. It is just too detailed. In the details, you can tell the way everything unfolded that day. You can tell that somebody else was behind this, right? And the other thing too, he was eating at a McDonald's, right? And they say they called because he looked suspicious, but like I just, they called because he looked suspicious and they noticed him from the photos. Like, I can understand if it was a McDonald's in New York City or something, but like in a different state, like they didn't even say that he was. They had mentioned that he was out of the city, but then they say Pennsylvania, nothing like that. It just looks to me like there's something else going on here, right? And like I said, they can piece it up together and they can say, this is his motive, this is him, and this and the other. I know there was some type of surgery that he had done before, but even so, for him to target him so specifically to the point that he even knew that he was alone, like that Brian was coming out alone with no security guards, that he was coming to the conference earlier, that he was not staying in the same hotel as the conference, to the point that he didn't even call out for his name and shoot him from the back, exactly knowing who he was. That is very telling. And it makes you feel like there's something else behind here, meaning like there was somebody else helping this man, okay? And the contrast of going from being so basically well put together and going through school and being the valedictorian. I understand people have things happen in life and things like that, but it's kind of hard to believe. It's still very kind of hard to believe based on I guess you could say his previous record from what they're telling the public. So let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day everybody. God bless.